Hi, I'm Lisa Leiter. In Chicago Business Today, Greg Brown's Motorola. This Christmas, Greg Brown will be days away from getting the company he's always wanted. In January, he will become chief executive of Motorola Solutions, the $8 billion business that makes police radio and barcode scanners. Solutions will split from Motorola's cell phone unit, now called Mobility, which is making a comeback thanks to the popularity of Droid products. It's a separation Brown has championed for years, even before Moto's cell phone business cratered in 2007.
The benefit is, I think, it unlocks shareholder value and allows both businesses, both sets of employees, both sets of investors, both sets of development communities to focus on respectively what they do and what we do individually.
The timing of the long-awaited spin-off could be tough. States and municipalities are broke and they account for 2/3 of Solutions revenue. Public safety and government sales grew just 1.5% in the third quarter from a year ago.
Those governments are in trouble, and I don't know that we'll see a near-term improvement in that area. So I think that their goal of 5% to 8% growth may be optimistic at this point, unless they can get enough on the enterprise side. But again, it's only a third of the business, so that remains probably the biggest challenge.
On the positive side, Motorola dominates the market with a 60% share and recently won a $345 million contract from Maryland for a statewide radio system. Analysts are watching to see whether Moto also will win a contract from Los Angeles County. It's up against its chief rival, Harris Corp. Brown is also counting on demand in the Middle East and Asia. 42% of Solutions revenue comes from outside the United States. He sees an opportunity as networks upgrade from voice to video and also plans to expand the services business.
We have a great services organization today, but it's traditional. Installation, break, fix, maintain. There'll be an opportunity for us to do hosted applications, managed services. We may actually build, own, and operate networks on behalf of our public safety customers. A ton of different opportunities.
One question is how patient Wall Street will be when it comes to performance.
A lot of it just depends on what happens with government spending. If it continues to be constrained like we've talked about, then he's under more pressure. Regardless of how well he tries to execute, I think the broad economic themes may dominate.
Brown was criticized inside and outside the company for cutting costs too deeply when Motorola was losing money, and he is clearly relieved to be focusing on growth again.
The room for growth is considerable, and the size of the market, the addressable markets, are substantial. We just have to continually be creative in the way we extend logically and prioritize our R&D into adjacent areas that will give us the appropriate return on invested capital.
While at least one analyst mentioned that Solutions could become a takeover target, Novacell says Solutions may end up being an acquirer of smaller companies. But he says don't expect much the first year when Brown is likely to focus on organic growth. Well, that's this edition of Chicago Business Today. For more on this story, be sure to check out this week's print edition of Crain's or chicagobusiness.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.